Welcome back, everyone. I am the Depressed Eeyore, and this is Langrisser Mobile. Alright, got all three characters leveled up and bonded up. I wasn't sure I was going to have enough bond materials to actually max them out, because I used a bunch of them to try to get the crystals off of various male characters. Also, I tend to sell off a lot of my bond materials since I don't really need that many, but I've been rather short on it. But thankfully I had enough, so let's see what we got going on here. So, Nyotengu. We got Hit to No Mai. Attack and defense increases by 10% after taking action. If on defensive terrain or if a skill was used this turn, you recover 15% of unit HP and gain mobility +2. Ignores obstruction from enemy units when moving, and damage taken reduced by 50%. Loses this effect after taking damage in battle. After losing this effect, this has a 1-turn cooldown, lasts for 2 turns, cannot be dispelled. So yeah, she's, I don't know, I'm guessing she's sort of like a bruiser type character. The fact that she can get her own mobility increase is pretty useful. That pretty much means that she can guarantee trigger her Dragon Troopers pretty easily. Speaking of, I have Dragon Troopers upgraded and the Masked Maids upgraded. I don't have enough of the new material to get the Mist Dancers upgraded yet. Anyway, I'll go ahead and switch to them. Why not? Alright. As for skills, well, actually, first for classes, she is a flyer, and her choices are flyer. You can be any class you want as long as it's a flyer. So this is actually kind of interesting for all three of these collab characters only have one class, which means it's relatively easy to max them out. You don't need to use any runestones or any of that nonsense, so good to go on that front. Alright, skills. She has access to a lot of the standard flyer stuff. She does have access to Ride the Wind, which I think only she and Clarette have access to that skill. She, of course, got Rage and Thunder, Wind Whispers, and, of course, Lightning. Her exclusives, she's got Nowaki, which is a 1-cost active skill, gain attack increase by 20%, and Nowaki. After actively dealing damage, deals 0.1 times AoE damage to all enemies within 1 ring, and applies Teleport Effect. Changes the position of enemies hit, lasts 2 turns, can act again with remaining mobility. So yeah, I'm kind of curious about how her teleport shuffling could work, but I have no idea because I've never actually seen it in action. We got Juzu Kumade, which is a 3-turn cooldown 2-cost skill. 1 range attack. Attacks a single enemy, dealing 1.5 times damage. After battle, increases enemy's damage taken by 20%. Lasts for 2 turns. When possessing Hito no Mai, deals 1.8 times damage and makes the enemy cannot take action next turn. So it goes really well with her kit. Kobosho Inago. 2-cost, 3 cooldowns AoE skill, looks like, with a range of 4. Attacks all enemies in a straight line, dealing 0.4 times AoE damage. When attacking, teleports to the furthest block or in front of the nearest enemy within range and applies a displacement effect. Pushes back enemies 2 blocks. If there are other units or unpassable terrain in the path, the pushback enemy cannot act on their next turn. So essentially, it's very similar to the... I guess there's a few characters that do that sort of AoE where they rush forward. This one's pretty interesting because it can potentially do a lot of stunning if you have them just slam against unpassable terrain or each other. So yeah, 0.4 times AoE damage for a physical AoE is actually rather good. So it's very interesting. Unfortunately, I believe she's outclassed in a lot of the meta, unfortunately, but... she's definitely... her kit's actually kind of interesting. It's just, unfortunately, I don't really have... I'm more magic-based nowadays. Anyway, not much to point out for the classes. Soldiers gets access to cavalry and flyers, and of course the new Dragon Troopers. Gear-wise, I kind of stuck with Full Moon and kind of the standard stuff. I gave Spirit Boots to kind of give her a little extra mobility after doing things. And then we can go ahead and go straight to Awakening. Oh, actually, and no casting things to worry about. All right, Awakening. What joy is there in the solitude of the mountains? The impermanence of all things in the world is what makes it wonderful. All right, we are going up against Kaguya Luna, and Azusa. One second. Sorry about that. Fire inspectors came in. Alright. So, dealing with Azusa might be a issue. Since I can only do... Doesn't this like reduce like a bunch of damage? Oh no, it switches me to intelligence, that's what it is. That's annoying. Well, in that case, let's just go all in. Oh, wrong skill. There it is. Milwaukee. I can at least stun you with this. I don't think I can get away, can I? Lose 3 again, yeah. I'm not going to be able to get away. Yeah, we'll just kill. Boop. I'm at least at full HP, so this won't kill me. Apparently it's going to do the opposite. Alright, well, I'm just curious to see what this will do. Oh, it's a line, it's just a line AoE. Okay, I thought it was 3 wide for some reason. Just gonna wait. I don't know if my extra mobility will actually work with this. And no, it's not going to. No, yeah, it's just going to use remaining mobility. That's okay. Okay, you're just covering it all in Yu-Gi-Oh cards right now. Alright. Murder. Okay. Alright, the shadow of black wings will tear through the mundane and pin a magnificent tale in this world. You said it. Alright, so all the collab characters plus Kaguya. Alright, we'll see what we can make happen with this. So I can guarantee stun some of these. Well, I guess we get a preview of these characters. Alright, so the way Marie works is she gets attack and defense increased by 25%, and then whenever she, when using a skill to attack, she will apply a displacement effect that will push 3 blocks. So all of her skills apply displacement. And if there are units or unpassable terrain in the path of it, it will bounce into that person and then push that person the remaining distance. Every time she displaces someone, she gets a stack of dance steps, and at the end of her turn, she can, which all of them get removed at the start of next turn, but after taking action, she can consume a dance step to essentially take another action and move 3 blocks. The dance steps act again, the increase doubles each time, up to 5 times per turn. So if you do enough AoE nonsense, you can essentially get a bunch of actions back to back. Alright. And then Kasumi here. Attack and defense 25%. Any unit's attacks are not affected by melee damage reduction. Yeah, despite her being an assassin, a lot of her skills are actually like 1 range. Anyway, the after dealing damage, apply a stagger to the enemy, cannot guard and cannot attack before the enemy. when initiating battle, if the enemy is afflicted with stagger, they cannot counterattack. Applies stun on the enemy for 1 turn after battle. So pretty handy stuff. Alright. Okie dokie. What do we have? Straight line, pulse the caster to the target side. You move 2 additional blocks and attack again. Okay, so she's able to technically go all the way to there and then start fighting people. Don't know how useful that is. Attacks a single enemy. If you have dance steps, they can't counterattack. Attacks all enemies in a straight line. And then we got roar. Okay, we can't get in range to actually do much. So we're just gonna take it easy. We're gonna put you up here. I'm just making sure I can't get smacked around. I think we'll be okay here. Either way, she's got damage reduction, so she'll live. So 4 spaces. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, definitely don't want to go there. Go ahead and grab that. We'll see how this goes. Milwaukee. Okay. All right. So if I inflict 1 displacement, I should be able to do things. Use it in a straight line or on an empty block or unit. Applies the displacement effect, pulls caster to the target side. Oh, does it actually pull you? Did I misunderstand that? Nope. I did not misunderstand that. Okay, well, that didn't do what I wanted it to do. In fact, I'm just going to rewind. Alright. So if I do like 1 of each, it should be... There we go. Alright. It's been a while since I've done all this. Okay, so that got us that. her buff can be dispelled. Okay. Alright. Shouldn't have any issues now. Alright. Not used to having to juggle 3 characters I've never played before. Alright. So we get Hana Kagura. Alright, we'll go ahead and replace that with this. Okay, 3 cooldown, 1 range, attacks a single enemy for 1.7 times damage, dispels 3 enemy buffs before battle, after battle recover HP equal to 20% damage dealt, gains command, all enemies within 2 blocks, mobility -1 and cannot guard. Last 2 turns, when possessing Hito no Mai, this attack's damage is increased by 20%, and if the enemy is not eliminated, all the skill's cooldowns are reduced by 2, otherwise can move again 4 blocks. Not too shabby. Okay, let's go to the next person. Alright, you're next on the list. Alright, Marie. So we kind of already read about her. I only have her at 2 stars, so only 15%. Move 2 blocks and attack again. All that good stuff. Her class is infantry. As mentioned, you can't really change it. And oh, she has a self-res. That's good for her. I'll go ahead and keep that then. She has a lot. She has 4 exclusives. Okay. I hate you. I hate you. I hate you. 1 cost, 3 cooldown. Range self. When the caster failed to apply displacement on an enemy for the first time each turn, can choose to teleport to any position within a straight line of 3 blocks after taking action. This teleportation is considered a displacement effect. Active skill recovers 30% of max HP. If there are enemies within 4 blocks, gain 1 stack of dance step preparation. So this is actually interesting because as her kit implies, she wants to do a lot of displacement so she can get dance steps, but there's definitely ways. There are many ways to negate displacement, including an entire character's aura. I believe it's Hilda. But with this, you can actually still get dance steps, which is actually kind of nice. Also, some of these skills also automatically give dance steps as well, which is also helpful. Alright. Not sure why it wasn't letting me click off anything. Okay. We already took a look at this. This is Rose Hip. Attacks all enemies in a straight line, doing 0.1 times AoE damage, and then teleports to the furthest block of the skill range. Then, when hitting an enemy, you also gain a stack of dance step preparation. And then we have Autumnal. I don't know how to pronounce that. 2 cost, 3 cooldown, spans 1 range self, 0.12 times AoE damage, 3 times to all enemies in a 1 ring range. After attacking, if the enemy's position has not changed, dispel 1 buff, prioritizing dispelling immune to displacement, and applies passive silence for 2 turns. And then Orange Ruffles, this is the one where you just punch somebody. If you have dance steps, you can make it so they can't counterattack, and then they can't. And then after battle, they get stunned. So we'll take you for now, and you for now. All right. Yeah, that'll work. Soldiers, we'll go ahead and give her mass maids. Equipments. I kind of just gave her Balance Blade just for additional AoE range. And then kind of standard infantry stuff. I gave her Slayer's Emblem because I literally don't really want to give her anything too big because I don't intend on using her. And then I gave her the Clock Enchant. So we got all that going for us. So yeah, this will end up being 2 ring, which will be kind of nice. Okay. Alright, Awakening. A blooming rose never loses its brilliance in the darkness. Murder everybody. Alright. Grinshield, Milda, and Farrakwa. Apparently Farrakwa is going to be getting herself an LLR version, which supposedly is rather good. Alright, I can't reach you, but I can do this. Alright. Here comes the shield. Oh. That was rude. Yay for the bonus from this SRA. Yeah, you actually probably don't want the self-res on her. It kind of just makes things awkward. So we'll change that up. Also, if you get killed, you don't do any displacement. The more you know. Yeah, I really need that other skill. It's very, very rare that you find a character that you actually don't want to take their self-res. Yeah, that was awkward. Alright, yeah, we're changing up our skills. But yeah, if you can get her set up, she can definitely chain a lot of attacks together. So yeah, no self-res. We don't want that. We want something like this. Yeah, that is something we can work with. Okay, let's go ahead and go to the next one. To protect those who are important to me, I will shatter these evil delusions by murdering them. Okay, this time around we have Imelda. So, Imelda's buff. Is it just raw damage? Cool. Now the question is, can I reach? Yes. Thanks to the Balance Blade, I can actually reach. Because this thing only has 4 range. Yay, Balance Blade. Okay. I think we can make this work then. Alright, we're about to do something rather silly. Alright. And then I can do, I don't know, this. Sure, that works. Alright. Okay, so I have 8 dance steps to play with. Oh, I actually got a clock proc. Okay. Alright. Can't counterattack. Okay. Alright, yeah, as you see, I'm eating up all my act against now, which is fine. I'm going to go ahead and take out you before you get buffed. Okie dokie. I'm going to do this. Take you out. And can I can move 2 additional steps and act again. Sweet. Turn 1 kill. That was fun. Yeah, she could definitely do some shenanigans. So we got Gunyear. Let's see what this got for us. Passive, or let's see, 3 costs, 5 cooldown, range 1. Passive, when inflicting a displacement effect, if there are other units or unpassable terrain in the displacement path, it deals fixed damage once equal to 1 times caster's attack. Attacks a single enemy dealing 1 times damage, or 1.8 times damage. After battle, dispels 5 buffs from the enemies. If triggered, act again talent affects this turn. Attacks before the enemy in this battle. For each act again talent effect triggered this turn, damage dealt in this battle increases by 15% up to a maximum of 30%. After battle, all skill cooldowns are reduced by 1. So yeah, it pretty much just goes well with her act again shenanigans. Obviously, her biggest weakness is anyone that could prevent her from act again, which there are a few nowadays. But yeah, she's definitely fun. Like if you just throw her in the middle of things and just start, you know, doing her little whirlwind AoE nonsense, you can potentially just cause a lot of chaos. At the very least, you can definitely displace. You can just mess up somebody's formation if they're set up as a tank push. Unless you're going against Hilda, which if you are, you probably should have banned her in the first place. Alright, now we have Kasumi. Where is Kasumi? There you are. Kasumi. Alright, we kind of already read about her, but attack and defense increases. She's not affected by melee damage reduction. She applies stagger, which can, by itself, doesn't do much, but for other people, it can make it so they can't guard and cannot attack before the enemy. Which kind of implies that you actually want to punch tanks with this, just so they can stop guarding. She is a assassin class, no surprises there. As for skills, she does have a lot of the staples like sneak attack and sly stride. Alright, so we already talked about Hoshimpo. You apparently dash in a straight line and pull, and you essentially get pulled in that direction. It's kind of weird, and then you can move 2 spaces afterwards. When you're displaced, you actually treat it as flying, which is kind of neat. But yeah, it's just a mobility skill. And then over here we got Tenshincho, which is a 3 cooldown, range 1 attack. Does 1.4 times damage, increases their damage taken by 20%. If they are afflicted by stagger, you also reduce their defense by 30%. Yeah. Pretty standard. She does have access to Ninjutsu, which means she can treat everything, all passable terrain as planes, and also get attack bonuses from defensive terrain. Alright, and she also, as mentioned, as you can probably see, she has all the assassin skills. She has Plunger, Shadow Raid, and Riposte. So yeah, you can kind of use her as a pseudo-assassin if you need to. Soldiers, she got access to, she does have access to Mist Dancers, which means she does have access to the SP version as well. Besides all of that, equipment, I went with Breeze, and then kind of just standard assassin stuff. We got Crystal Stinger, Last Rites, King's Crown, and Edge of Memories. Edge of Memories is actually kind of decent here, since she kind of needs it to get her cooldowns, because I don't actually have a lot of skills active right now. Anyway, Murder. Even if she treads the path of the lone ninja, she will never turn back. Alright. Cherry, Narm, and Autocrado. One of these things it ain't like the other. Okay, so I can attack at range. Will I be able to kill? I have archer troops. Nope. But with Stagger, she ends up getting last strike, so it doesn't even matter. Alright, and then we can do this. Surprise! Alright, and I can get in range. We'll just attack at range. You're an actual 2-range attacker, right? Yes, you are. It's just your skills aren't. Ow. Also, did I mess this up? Sneak attack? Oh, it's only after doing criticals, which I guess I didn't. Alright. I'm just gonna go back. Oh, right, moving murders me now. Ain't that great. Oh, okay, I can reduce the damage by doing this. Cool. Okay, and then I can try to murder and hope I don't die. I think I might die. Alright. We can try this. I should be able to just attack at range. You have ranged okay, whatever. Alright, we're just gonna go back to this step. And just play it clean. Guessing it's one of its passives. Anyway. There we go. Just had to wait out the cooldowns. Alright. Good times. I have like no health. That's okay. Wicked. The conspiracy and evils hidden in this world will be severed here now. You don't say. Hey, oh, we have Lucretia this time. Alright. With AoEs. Even better. And she didn't bring her. She only brought her line AoE. A pity. Okie dokie. Well, I can definitely kill the poppet. If I do this, I can hit you and knock around a bunch of people. Alright. Let's try that. Let's try being stupidly aggressive. She's actually in the way, but that's okay. Bonk. Alright. Now again, it's going to cost 2 for the next one, which is fine. Okay, now I can go again. Let's just kill the poppet. So I just... you're gonna out-damage me. Okay, your range is reduced. I'm not gonna be able to reach with you. Walked into that. Okie dokie. Just use you to break that shield. Alright, not too shabby. So yeah, let's take a look at this last 3-cost skill. Alright. Just gonna replace this because it was useless. Alright. Oka Runman. 3-cost skill, 4 cooldown, range 1. Passive when battling enemies with stagger, damage taken is reduced by 30%, and attack is increased by 30%. Attacks a single enemy, dealing 1.6 times damage. If the enemy is afflicted with stagger, this skill attacks 2 times in this battle. After battle, if there are enemies within 3 blocks, this unit can act again. Otherwise, the skill's cooldown is reduced by 3 turns. Okay. So this actually kind of helps a little bit, because the stagger effect is actually really neat. It's just by herself, she'll apply it and then she can't do anything with it. But with this, she can potentially follow up with it, either by double tapping the tank, which will probably kill it. Yeah, it might definitely kill it. Yeah, this thing, I think Kasumi's more built as a tank buster, even though she definitely can do assassination stuff. So it's pretty interesting. And if you happen to give her the new accessory that teleports you back to her starting location, she can definitely cause some great harm. She won't be able to guarantee kill a tank simply because of all of them have self-res now, but it is something. Alright, yeah, so overall these 3 characters are all actually decent. They're actually rather good. It's just, unfortunately, they are kind of just they don't really fit with the meta nowadays. But they're definitely characters I would like to look into in the future, but I'm probably not going to mess with them until I at least have them maxed out. Also, when did Yulia surpass freaking Sovereign of the Ice Abyss? Yulia. I'm guessing it's because of the Bast Bade. Yep. Okay. Those SP troops. Alright. Well, enough rambling from me. Sorry it took so long. I am the Depressed Viewer. This was Langrisser Mobile. I'll see you guys next time.